And we are live. I am live here with Gio, representing the Jorvik City podcast. Gio, could you tell me a little bit about your server?
We are a podcast created by the players for players. We will be discussing topics that might not be talked about in everyday life, because they can be a little controversial, but we believe that they should be discussed. And then we also have a wonderful panel of co-hosts, along with 3 owners, which are myself, Montana Mistwall, and Greta Bravehawk. And that's just the summary of us.
Okay, so I have a few questions I would like to ask, if that's okay.
For sure.
What has been your biggest inspiration for creating the podcast?
I would definitely say that the diversity within the Star Stable community and giving them a branch to come together and share their thoughts and opinions throughout the community in a safe space, but also ensuring that it's constructive criticism, so that hopefully in the future, maybe Star Stable could look at us and have an idea of what the community, would prefer for the game. And not only that, just bringing everyone together, I think, is the most important part to me, and spreading that positivity throughout Star Stable.
Okay, the next question I have is, what has been the hardest thing about working on the podcast?
I would definitely say trying to keep up with the research of podcast, because we really want it to have that actual podcast feel, but also presenting it into a live audience instead of it being pre-recorded. So I would say that kind of getting everyone together and trying to bring out that live performance as podcast vibe as possible for me.
That is great. I love that. And then our last question. So for new server owners, what is one advice you'd like to give them?
I would definitely say spend as much time as you can learning about Discord, and also working on your server before actually releasing your server, so everything is finished whenever people pop in, and that your guests are going to have the best experience possible.
That is great. Now back to the station.